You're listening to Beauty and Beyond Playbook. I'm your host, Mitzi Hernandez. Hello, beautiful people. Today's episode was inspired by a mentee of mine reaching out for help with something that is going on in her business. Today, we are going to talk about the signs of a client who is bullying you versus the signs of a client who has actual concern and an issue with your work that you do need to fix, how to get around the difference, how to set boundaries around the bullying ones, how to approach the ones that actually have issues, how to trust your gut, and when to know to walk away. So let's jump straight up into it, okay? I'm going to start with clients that have actual concern that you need to address. I have been in the industry for so long. I have had a lash business for 10 years. Before my lash business, I waxed, specifically Brazilians, and I sugared. And before that, I worked at a spa where I did facials. And before that, I worked at a brow bar where I did brows. And before that, I worked at a makeup counter where I did makeup. Before that, I worked at a nail salon where I did brows. And before that, I worked at a spa where I did facials. So as you can hear, I have worked a lot of places. I have done everything that as an esthetician I am able to do. So I am very, very, very well versed with clients. I have been bullied. I have been cussed out. I have been accused of doing horrible things to my boss, and I got in trouble. Like, I wasn't doing horrible things to my boss. What I mean is the client accused me of doing horrible things to her. I have worked by myself. I have had some crazy clients in my business, and then I have had some wonderful clients who had actual issues that I needed to address. So with all that in mind, like I stated, let's go to the client that genuinely has an issue. Okay, a client who has an issue will always respect you through the issue. They will never attack you. They will attack the issue. They will show their concern and express what's wrong based on the experience, the work, and the issue, and or the issue, okay? Here is a very good telltale sign that they are having a concern and not necessarily bullying you. They are expressing the issue clearly, respectfully, and specifically. For example, a client today actually came in and she was like, she used to do Russian volume, but now she does American mega volume. And she said, I don't know what it is, but I just feel like these lashes don't last me as long as I'd like. And I also feel like sometimes I can't get the fans to open up the way the other lashes would just open up. I don't know what to do. I don't know if it's a me issue, a you issue, or just a separate issue with supplements and things that I put on my face. That is someone with a concern who wants my help, who is expressing that something isn't happening the way she wants it to happen, but she did not attack my service, meaning this ugly ass service or this ugly ass lashes, or I hate coming to you, or I'm tired of spending my money, or attack me. Like, you're not a good lash artist. Why did you make me switch to this? She literally just said, this is the concern. So they're going to go straight to the point, and they're going to leave it open for you to obviously slide in and provide a solution. They provide constructive feedback without attacking your character or skill set. Like I stated, at no point did she come to me and try to attack me and try to be mean. She kept her issues on the problem. She was very, very specific about what the issue was. She didn't necessarily present some kind of way that I could rectify. That was for me to present. That was for me to be the expert, the leader, the authority figure. But at no point was she disrespectful. A client with genuine concerns are going to be willing to listen to you, and they're going to be open to solutions. Now, why is the willing to listen to you important? Because that means they view you as an authority figure. Now, I always say in all of my podcast episodes that it is up to you to become the authority figure. I stand by this. I stand by this even when y'all are having issues. However, someone who is bullying you, they never saw you as an authority figure, so they are never really willing to listen to you. Even when you try to assert yourself as an authority figure, they already view you as not valuable. So there's really nothing you can do to regain that quote unquote control once this person is just simply trying to bully you. When a client genuinely has a concern, they will allow you to try to fix the problem. They are telling you they have a problem with your service, with the experience, with whatever is happening because they don't want to go to anyone else. They want you to continue to service them. So it is very important, and I'll make another podcast episode on how to be able to de-escalate situations and how to deal with conflict with your clients, because a lot of the times if they're coming to you with respect, they're coming because they like you. They're not threatening to leave. They're not wanting you to kiss their ass. They're just wanting you to fix the problem. And I have worked and I have come across beauty service providers who are just not good with confrontation, conflict, communication, anything like that. And it always goes wrong, even when the client is coming to you with actual concerns, really respectful. Some service providers return the energy with disrespect, and then it just goes left instead of you being able to see, okay, this client is bullying me versus this client has a concern and I need to humble myself. Because part of being an authority figure and part of being a cult-like leader is that you know when to humble yourself so that the person that is expressing concern can actually be heard. Okay. That is going to be the main telltale signs of a client who actually has a concern that you need to humble yourself on to help them so that they can continue coming to you month after month, week after week. Okay? Now, let's go to the bullying client. They are so easy to spot. Okay? I'm going to tell you exactly how. First and foremost, like I stated earlier, they do not see you as an authority figure. They don't even want to remotely give you the satisfaction of being the authority figure. How can you tell? From the beginning, they're questioning you. They're questioning you before they even book. They're questioning why your booking site is the way it is. They're questioning why do they need to DM you. They're questioning why you're only replying during office hours instead of all times. They're questioning your prices. They're already usually going to be a pain in the ass before they even walk through your door. Another sign is that they're constantly talking down on old service providers. Side note, I made a thread that a lot of people did not like, but I want to talk about it to tell the difference between a bullying client and a client with an actual concern. So let me read the thread to you. I said, every time I do a lash artist lashes, they tell me their horrible experiences with other lash artists. And I'm just sitting there wondering, what will they say about me to another person? We're all human. I've made tons of mistakes. I've had retention issues. I've cut someone with a tape/pad. I've given someone a chemical burn accidentally. Why is it that as lash artists, we give such little grace to other lash artists when we know how difficult the profession is? Okay. Like I said, this is a side note, so I'm going to go down this path and then I'm going to come back to the original topic on hand. I had some people say, oh, it's okay for them to complain. They paid money. They should be allowed to complain. Who are you to tell them they can't complain? This is the difference between a bullying client and a genuine concern. If you have a concern as a lash artist, and I'm speaking about lash artist because I'm a lash artist, but let's say you're a waxer, you sugar, you do brows, you do nails, you do hair, whatever it is that you do. If you go to another person in the same profession as you, and the first thing you do is complain about other people who have done that service that you're asking her to do now, you're a bullying client. You are not someone who's expressing concern. Someone who's expressing concern would go back to the original professional and give correct constructive criticism. They would express their issue clearly and respectfully. They would provide constructive feedback without attacking the person or the person's business, right? If you're going to another professional and you're bad mouthing your old lash artist, nail artist, whatever, you are bullying. Now, like I said in the thread, a lot of people kept saying, well, she paid, she's allowed to complain. Correct. You're allowed to complain to your homegirls, your significant other, your mama, God, your journal, or the professional who did that to you. If you are complaining about another professional to a professional who is new to you. For example, like I stated, if you are a lash artist yourself and you went and got your lashes done and you didn't like it, and so you booked with another lash artist, if you are complaining to the new lash artist, you are a bullying client. Even if you are not a lash artist, let's say that you do hair and you went to get your lashes done and you're complaining to the new lash artist about the old lash artist, you are a bullying client. Now, why am I saying this? Because I want you to comprehend that the more that you do something, it's the more that you're going to have clients treating you that way, because you have blurred the lines on what respect and bullying is. So then when someone brings it to your table, when someone decides to bully you, you may not know that they're bullying you because you're so used to bullying others. Someone who has a genuine concern will talk to the professional. Someone who just wants to vent, you will talk to your personal relationships, not another professional. Okay? All right, let's get back to the topic on hand. A bullying client who immediately off the rip starts talking shit about the old professional she used to go to, that's a bullying client. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. She's not complaining just for the fuck of it. She's not complaining because she's thinking that you're better. Don't let your ego get involved. Don't be like, girl, I ain't gonna do you like that. I'm better, or I would never do that. Don't let your ego get the best of you, because that's where you're going to wake up and this client's going to be bullying you and you're going to be like, what the fuck? How we get here? You got there by letting your ego guide you the wrong way instead of actual self-trust that is not guided by ego. When someone is complaining to you about an old professional, you immediately set a boundary that is not how you're going to act. That is not the type of conversations you want to have in your studio, in your chair, or whatever it is. Why? Why is this important? We're going to get to the boundaries in a minute. Let me finish telling you about the bullying client. Okay. Another thing that a bullying client is going to do is when they walk in, they're going to already have a little bit of a stank attitude. Because again, they do not feel like you're the authority figure. So they're walking in like, let me see if I like her. She better prove herself to me. That's a bullying client. That's a client ready to bulldoze you, ready to bully you, ready to act a fucking fool. Why? Because if you booked a service that you're giving money to this person for, why would you already walk in with a stank face? Like, make that make sense. In no shape, way, or form does that even make sense. Like, that already means you got 1 foot out, 1 foot in, you halfway ready to ask for a refund. Okay? A bullying client is constantly demanding special treatment or some kind of discount or free tweaks to her hair or her nails or her lashes. And they don't really give a reason besides attacking you or saying they're unhappy. That's it. They don't really give a reason like, hey, this doesn't match with this. Like, they just kind of say like, oh, you didn't blah, blah, blah. You weren't paying attention when you blah, blah, blah. That is a bullying client. That is not acceptable. They will use certain manipulation tactics, certain guilt-tripping language, or they will try to do ultimatums, such as, I know someone who's cheaper. I know someone who's better. I know someone who is faster. I used to have a client that hated how long it took me to lash her. And she would say, because she used to go to my homegirl, she would say, well, such and such took 30 minutes. And at first, I used to let her bully me, right? This was when I had really low self-esteem. And then after a while, I said, well, I can give you such and such number again if you want to go back to her. Girl, no, I don't. Ha, ha, ha. And eventually those things stopped because she realized I wasn't playing with her anymore. when you have a client that's constantly reminding you that there's someone better, cheaper, or here's another one, they're telling you about another person they found that is more expensive, and they're kind of telling you like, I don't know, girl, I might be willing to spend the money over there just to see the difference. Please trust and believe that's a bullying client. That's a bullying client. Another thing is they bring up issues on social media. They bring up issues through a friend. They bring up issues through reviews. They bring up issues outside of the room, meaning when they walk in, they act like they don't have a problem with you. You do their service, they act like they don't have a problem, but 2-3 days later, they send you a message and say, actually, I do have a problem. Now, to be very fair, there are some people that it takes them a while to walk away, kind of let it simmer, and then they're willing to speak up. But again, the difference is if they walk away and then they come back attacking you, that's a bullying client. If they come back and say, hey girl, after looking at my lashes, I realized I don't like them. This is what I don't like. What do you think we can do to fix them? That's an actual concern. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. A bullying client will always come across as more aggressive, more confident, more anything than you. They could sometimes use their money. They could act like because they have more money, they have more power over you, because they're older, because they are smarter, because they know someone you don't know, because they bring you clients, they feel like you owe them. That's a bullying client. You do not need those kind of clients in your business. Now let's talk about setting boundaries to protect yourself from being bullied by this client. Okay, first and foremost, you have got to have actual policies that you will stand behind. In my episode where I talk about late fees, bullying clients will take advantage of late fees, meaning if they know that they're late and you don't charge them, they've already sized you up. They already know, okay, I see what's happening. If you are going to have a late fee, if you are going to have a 24-hour cancellation fee, stick by it. I don't give a fuck if that's your homie. You stick by it, because if you stick by it, the chances of you getting bullied are going to be slim to none, because they're going to realize, fuck, I can't bully this person. Because best believe bullies, just like dogs, just like men, they know who's weak and who's not. Okay? You know how dogs can smell fear and they'll fuck with the ones that are afraid of them? That's how bullies are. They can smell, ooh, this bitch gonna let me fuck with her. I'm gonna fuck with her. Okay? And a lot of this stuff is done subconsciously, by the way. I always talk about this on my social media. Don't take any of this shit personal. Don't be like, oh, this bitch trying to play with me. Fuck that bitch. No. I'm making it sound like they're doing it on purpose, but to be very honest, all of this shit is subconscious. Because bullies, a lot of the times, don't even realize that they're bullies. Okay. So make sure that all of your policies are in place. Make sure that you have that communication with them. Make sure if they book in person, you tell them verbally or through text, these are the policies, right? Make sure they sign them. Like, try your best to have a lot of safety nets to make sure that they understand what the procedure is like, what the policies are like, so that they can't come back and be like, well, I didn't know that, or you didn't communicate, or blah, 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 blah. Now, if you have a bully on your hands, understand that you bending to them is not going to help. It's just going to make them bully you even more. Now, what does that mean? Of course, you want to do as much as possible to protect your business and make sure that it doesn't go left quickly, right? Because sometimes if you put boundaries down with certain bullying clients, they'll escalate it. They'll leave you bad reviews. They'll blast it on the internet. They'll just act a fool. So while you want to rectify the situation, you want to make sure that this person at least calms down a little bit from their bullying. You also want to protect yourself. Do not bend over backwards for them. Part of the boundaries you need to set is, I am willing to fix whatever situation this client claims they have, as long as it doesn't cross any of my boundaries. So for example, with the girl that I mentor, right? She was not okay with giving the person a refund. I didn't think she should give the person a refund. She had spent time. She had done enough that refund didn't need to be given, right? So I said, ask her, how would, this is a perfect thing you can tell someone whether they're actually mad and they are bullying you. If it's seeming Like they're attacking you, and you're at your wit's end. How the fuck am I supposed to fix this as them? How would you like me to fix this issue besides whatever it is that is your boundary? So the girl I mentor say, how would you like me to rectify this besides a refund, seeing as blah, 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 blah. So that gives them the door to be like, you tell me how you want to be happy. I'm willing to make you happy. You tell me. Because the choices I presented, clearly you weren't happy with, right? And 9 times out of 10, that's either going to shut them the fuck up because they're going to realize, oh, fuck, I don't even know what I want to be happy. Or they're going to tell you the solution. You can go ahead and do it and you're done. Now, again, the boundary is make sure there's some shit you're willing to do, not some shit you feel you have to do, because if not, they're going to blast you on the internet. Okay, so that's a boundary you want to have. How far are you willing to take it when someone's upset? That is going to depend on you and how you feel. Don't look around to other people and be like, well, how far is too far? What should I do? That's for you to decide, okay? Now, if you are having a bullying client, make sure that it doesn't turn into an argument. She's saying, well, you should have did this, or you need to do this. And you're like, well, no, I don't. You need to do that. No. Just literally continue to repeat their issue back to them and then the solution. So for example, you messed up my nails. You did this. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, because I want to make sure that I'm hearing you correctly and there's no misunderstandings, is that you believe that I messed up your nails on purpose. Am I correct in that statement? And they'll either say yes or no. And then once they say yes, you can say, well, I would like to let you know that and then just do I, right? I did not do this on purpose. I hate that is the feeling that you are feeling, and I am happy to make you feel better, but I do want to be very clear that I did not do this on purpose. Does that make sense? So that way you are as professional as possible, but you're not attacking them back, because when someone attacks you, it makes you want to attack them back, especially if you feel like your business is about to take a hit from this, right? That is the kind of boundaries you want to have, because that's not only going to protect your business from it completely going under, but it's also going to protect your mindset, your peace. It's just going to make sure that you deal with it the best way you can deal with it. Okay? Now, let's say that a client, a real client with a real concern is coming to you. What you're going to do is you're going to use a lot of empathy. Even if the concern they're presenting to you makes you feel bad. Because if they're not attacking you, if they're not like, you fucked up, you did this. I'll tell you a story. I remember I was getting my lashes done once. And as she was doing my lashes, that shit was burning so bad. And I said to her, my eyes are really burning. She picked up my eye. She said, the tape's not in your eye. I said, yeah, but it's really burning. She said, well, I don't know what to tell you. So I just dealt with it because I was like, well, what the hell else am I supposed to do? So I dealt with it. The next day I woke up, I had a mean chemical burn. I mean, mean as fuck. My eyes were in so much pain. My whole eye was red. I took a picture of it. I sent it to her and I said, hey, love, it looks like I got a chemical burn last night when my eyes were burning, and I mentioned it to you. I think what was happening was my eye must have been exposed to the fumes. Just letting you know, so next time we can do something different so it doesn't happen again. Again, I did not attack this woman at all. She ignored me until I posted on Instagram and I said, did not call her out, did not say, oh, this person did this to me. I literally just took a video of me and I said, lash artist, this is what a chemical burn looks like. This is how you get a chemical burn. This is what you should do if you do give someone a chemical burn. So I used it as a teaching tool. And she sends me a text message and says, I don't know what you want from me. At this point, I feel like you're attacking me when I did my very best on you. Now, mind you, at no point when I reached out to her did I attack her character. At no point did I argue with her. At no point did I ask for a refund. And at no point during the internet videos I was making did I attack her. I was using it as a teaching tool. She felt attacked. That's fair. The way she replied to me showed me she did not know how to have empathy for another person. You want to be as empathetic as possible. When someone is not blatantly attacking you, when they have an actual concern, take a step back and put yourself in their shoes. How would it feel if this was happening to you? How would you like someone to reply to you? How would you like someone to hold your hand? How would you like someone to react? So if it's a real concern, humble yourself. Because that's one thing I see a lot of people do. They get all dysregulated. And I don't think that people do it because they want to fight or they want to argue. I think what happens is a lot of adults do not know how to hold uncomfortable feelings, emotions, and sensations in their body. And when you don't know how to hold them, they will spit out thoughts that are not productive to the situation. And in turn, you either A, people please, or B, become aggressive and want to argue. So if that's you, I want you to take some time to breathe. I want you to take some time to maybe go outside, sit in the sun. Do not feel like you have to reply right away. Take some time to calm the fuck down. Reread the message a couple times. Is this person attacking you? If the answer is no, if the person is respectful, if the person is not asking for a refund, if the person is simply being as respectful as possible and telling you an issue and you're angry, that means that you don't know how to handle your emotions. So take a fucking breather. Walk the fuck away. Breathe. Step away from the situation. Come back when you're clear-headed and come back with as much empathy as you possibly can. Because when you handle it that way, you will not lose that client. But when you handle it the way this girl handled it, that tells me she does not know how to properly communicate. She doesn't know how to deal with conflict. She doesn't know how to deal with constructive criticism. And she does not know how to deal with her emotions. That's fine, right? I don't want to sound like I'm attacking her in any shape, way, or form because I've been there in the past. I've been there not necessarily with my lash business, but in relationships where someone comes to me with a real issue and I just attack back or I feel like I have to protect myself. Right? And that's because I didn't have the skill sets. So I do apologize if it sounded like I was trying to throw her under the bus. It was just an example that I felt was really good to show that I was genuinely a concerned client and she attacked me. And I'm sure you've done it because I've done it, again, not to clients, but I definitely have done it in personal relationships. And what I'm telling you is you're just lacking skills. That doesn't make you a bad person and a mature person. It simply means that you do not have this skill set to handle and maneuver this type of experiences, but you can learn the skill set. Okay? Always know that just because you can't do something right now does not mean that it's impossible for you to learn. You just don't know it right now, but you can always, always, always learn it. Okay. And now the most important thing. Always trust your fucking gut. Do not call your friends and be like, girl, and if you can hear me, I'm clapping because I feel so strongly about this. Girl, am I tripping? This girl said da 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 da. If you feel like you're being bullied and you look at the evidence, by the fucking way, because I just finished saying that. Just because you feel like you're being bullied, but you look at the evidence and the evidence says otherwise, and by evidence, I mean facts, straight up facts, says otherwise, it does not mean that you are being bullied. Okay? That's why I gave the signs of bullying versus a genuine concern, right? If it fits the signs, if it walks like a duck, if it talks like a duck, then it's a duck, right? If it fits the signs of either bullying, then it's bullying. If it fits the signs of genuine concern, then it's genuine concern, right? If the facts and your emotions match, baby, trust your motherfucking gut. Trust yourself. This is where self-trust and confidence is going to come in so deeply, right? Like the girl that I mentored about the issue she was having, she said to me that from the beginning, the girl was out of control. And I said, then you knew that this wasn't the girl for you. And she said, I did, but I felt bad turning her away. And I said, no, you need to trust yourself. She said, on what grounds? On what grounds do I need to trust myself? Like, what can I possibly say to her to be okay to turn her away? All you have to say is we are not a match. You do not need confirmation besides the facts that this person is already acting out of character or out of the character of someone you want to work with, and the fact that you in your gut, in your body, you feel weird about it. Put those two together, baby, make decisions from that. This is why I created the trust journey, because I want you to so radically trust yourself that you don't have to go outside of yourself and say, girl, am I tripping? Do I need to fire this client? No, baby, you know, you know. And at the end of the conversation with my mentee, I said, you know what to do. She said, I know what to do, but I just wanted to get your opinion. And that means, while I 100% adore that she values my opinion, that means she doesn't trust herself. And I want her to trust herself more than I want her to trust me, because that's more important to me. Her trusting herself is more important to me. I always say this, I am nobody's guru. I can teach you how to gain more trust in yourself, how to gain more confidence, but ultimately, I'm teaching you skills so that you can become an independent woman, not so that you can depend on me. I'm nobody's guru. I have some skills I'm willing to teach. And if you're willing to learn, come on over, baby girl. But I'm nobody's guru. That's the main thing. I want you to understand, nobody is your guru. I'm not your guru. Shayna down the street's not your guru. Lucy down the street's not your guru. Jamie across the globe in Australia is not your guru. You are your own guru. And then if you're spiritual and or religious, definitely no human's your guru. You and the person you serve, the highest being you serve, is your guru, right? And by guru, some people are like, no one's my guru, da da da. By guru, I'm just using that term. But what I mean is, like, I don't know something you don't know. You know more about your situation than I could potentially ever know. I can give you advice, but ultimately, I want you to use skills so that you can figure out, is this person bullying me? Do I want to work with this person? And how to trust your gut. Okay? Because that's the most important thing. You want to have so much radical self-trust that when you look at the facts and you look at your body, or you take a long, hard look at the feelings that are coming up in your body every time you interact with this person, then you know this person isn't for me. And once you realize that this person is not for you, then you walk away, my love. You walk away immediately as you realize that. If that means you give back money, if that means you maybe have a bad review, if that means someone thinks you're mean or you're unfair or you're evil, that's the fuck okay. Because what I'm teaching you above all is how to trust yourself. And you do not trust yourself without ruffling feathers. I say it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again. There is nothing more rebelling in this society than an independent, confident, self-trusting woman. And not everyone's going to love someone like that. Because some people benefit from you being small. And like I said, sometimes it's not consciously, but subconsciously there are people who pray you stay small because they're not ready for you to surpass them. They're not ready for them to have to look in the mirror and figure out, why do I feel the need to control others? Because when you don't allow others to control you, you might ruffle some feathers. What you're really ruffling is not that they think you're a bitch, but you're ruffling what lives within them that's telling them, ooh, you can't control her. So if I can't control her, what does that say about me? So really, you're just triggering something that lives within them that they have to work on in themselves. So if someone doesn't like you, that's okay. Wave them goodbye. You keep on going. Because like I said, above all, I want you to trust yourself. Trust that you're not crazy. Trust that you don't want to work with this client. Trust that you know the difference between a bullying client and a genuine concerned client. I hope this was helpful. Until then, you will hear from me in the next podcast episode.